Do you ever feel like a ghost of your potential, watching life pass by while a nagging voice whispers, "This isn't really you"? Do you look in the mirror sometimes and wonder where that fierce, unshakable version of you went, buried under doubt and daily demands? Are you tired of settling, wrestling with self-doubt, or feeling adrift without a clear sense of purpose? That yearning for more fulfillment, more confidence, more authentic power, is your soul demanding evolution. This transformative audiobook, How to Be the Greatest Version of Yourself, is your direct response to that call. The only person you are destined to become, as Emerson reminds us, is the person you decide to be. Prepare to fundamentally alter yours. We journey beyond fleeting motivation into the core principles of profound self-reinvention. Imagine waking with unshakable clarity, where purpose replaces uncertainty and confidence silences the inner critic. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. This experience dares you to dismantle limitations and rebuild on foundations of strength. Through its guidance, expect tangible progress, renewed purpose igniting your actions, deeper self-understanding fostering genuine confidence, and empowered choices shaping a reality aligned with your highest aspirations. Unlock that immense inner potential. Crucially, your dedication is rewarded. This isn't just listening, it's an active construction of your destiny. Smash that like button if you're ready to claim your greatness. Subscribe to the channel now to ensure you never miss the next step in your evolution. But remember, the most profound transformation awaits those who persevere. A very special reward, reserved exclusively for those who reach the final chapter, is waiting for you. It's the key to locking in your new reality. Will you be one of the few who hears it? Your greatest self isn't a distant dream. Let's begin building it right now.
Chapter 1. How to be the greatest version of yourself. Slaw mediocrity with your mindset. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Listen closely, because this is where your revolution begins, or where it ends before it ever starts. The battleground is not out there in the world, with its obstacles and its noise. It is right here, within the silent confines of your own skull. The war for your greatest self is won or lost between your ears. Every single day, relentlessly. The terrain is your thoughts. The enemy is the insidious narrative you've allowed to fester. The very beliefs you clutch like a security blanket, while they slowly suffocate your potential. Your current reality, the one you might complain about, feel trapped by, or simply resign yourself to, is not fate. It is not bad luck. It is not the fault of your upbringing, your boss, the economy, or the stars. It is a prison, meticulously constructed, brick by heavy brick, by the thoughts you choose to entertain, the assumptions you swallow without question, the stories you replay until they feel like absolute truth. This prison has walls built of "I can't," ceilings made of "it's too hard," and floors that sag under the weight of "it's not for people like me." And the warden, the cruelest jailer of all, is that voice, that insidious whisper, that echo chamber of doubt and fear and inadequacy that lives rent-free in your mind. That voice is the enemy of your greatest self. It is the saboteur, the dream killer, the architect of your mediocrity. And it has held the keys to your cage for far too long. This chapter is not a gentle nudge. It is not a pep talk. It is your declaration of war, a call to arms against the tyranny of your own limiting mindset. We are going to identify that enemy voice, expose its lies for the poison they are, and then, with deliberate, unflinching force, we are going to dismantle the prison of your limiting beliefs, brick by suffocating brick, until nothing remains but rubble and the vast, open sky of possibility. This demolition is not optional. It is the absolute non-negotiable foundation upon which your greatest self will be built. There is no skirting this work, No shortcut, no bypass. You must confront the ugliness of the thoughts holding you back. You must stare them down, understand their origins, often rooted in past failures, criticisms, or societal conditioning. And then you must choose, consciously, fiercely, to reject them. This is where you forge your new reality, not with wishful thinking, but with the white-hot fire of a transformed mindset. You will learn to cultivate, nurture, and fiercely defend an unshakable growth mindset. This is not mere optimism. It is a fundamental rewiring, a radical shift in how you perceive yourself and your place in the world. It is the understanding that your abilities, your intelligence, your very character are not fixed, immutable traits carved in stone at birth. They are living, breathing, malleable forces that can be developed, strengthened, and expanded through dedicated effort, relentless learning, and the courageous embrace of challenge. A growth mindset sees obstacles not as dead ends, but as puzzles to be solved, mountains to be climbed, fuel for the engine of your evolution. It sees failure not as a verdict on your worth, but as the most brutal, honest, and ultimately valuable feedback you will ever receive, a necessary stepping stone, a lesson carved in experience. It hears the word impossible and recognizes it instantly for what it truly is: a lie, a limitation imposed by small minds, a barrier erected by those too afraid to venture beyond the known. You will build this growth mindset into a mental fortress, an impregnable citadel within your consciousness. This fortress will be your sanctuary and your command center. Its walls thick with the conviction of your potential, its towers offering a clear view of the horizons you will conquer. Within its stronghold, challenges are transformed into opportunities for strength. Effort is understood as the currency of mastery, and the relentless pursuit of learning becomes your sacred duty. Here, in this fortified space of your own making, the whispers of the old enemy grow faint, drowned out by the roar of your own determination and the clarity of your purpose. The victimhood mentality, that toxic posture of blaming external circumstances for your internal stagnation, that passive acceptance of whatever life throws your way, that must be incinerated, completely and utterly. You are not a leaf blown by the wind. You are not a puppet on strings controlled by fate or other people's whims. You are, or you will become, the architect of your destiny. This realization is the core of true empowerment. It is the seismic shift from reacting to creating, from enduring to initiating, from hoping to commanding. Your destiny is not written in the stars. It is written in the choices you make, moment by moment, thought by thought, action by action, and those choices are dictated by the quality of your mindset. The sheer relentless power of your transformed mind is the most potent force you possess, far surpassing brute strength, inherited wealth, or fleeting charisma. It is the engine that drives innovation, the shield that deflects despair, the compass that navigates uncertainty. It allows you to see possibilities where others see only dead ends, to find resources where others see scarcity, to summon courage when others succumb to fear. This transformation demands vigilance. It requires constant cultivation, like tending a sacred fire. You must guard the gates of your mind with fierce determination, refusing entry to the toxic thoughts, the comparisons, the envy, the negativity that seeks to undermine your foundation. You must feed it with rigorous learning, with inspiring ideas, with the company of those who challenge and uplift you, and you must exercise it daily, pushing beyond comfort zones, embracing the stretch, welcoming the productive struggle that signals growth. Slaying mediocrity begins and ends here. In the quiet revolution of your own thinking, embrace the discomfort of challenging your deepest assumptions. Lean into the friction of adopting new perspectives. Celebrate the small victories when you choose growth over fear, when you interpret a setback as feedback, when you silence the can't and replace it with how can I? Zrenia, this is the path, the only path, to becoming the greatest version of yourself. It starts now, in this moment, with the next thought you choose to think. Choose wisely. Choose growth. Choose power. Choose possibility. Choose yourself, the architect, the warrior, the sovereign of your own magnificent destiny. The world awaits the version of you that emerges from the ashes of your old mindset, forged anew in the fires of conscious, relentless thought. Go build it, brick by powerful brick, within the unshakable fortress of your transformed mind. Chapter 2. How to be the greatest version of yourself. Forge victory through atomic habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Forget the grand gestures, the dramatic declarations, the fleeting bursts of inspiration that vanish like smoke in the wind. They are meaningless, utterly meaningless, against the relentless grind of your default existence, your greatest self, the version that commands respect, that achieves mastery, that radiates undeniable power, is not summoned in a single moment of epiphany. It is not delivered by a lightning bolt from the heavens. It is forged, deliberately, painfully, magnificently, in the white-hot furnace of your daily actions, specifically in the unglamorous, repetitive, seemingly insignificant trenches of your habits, your atomic habits. Understand this now with brutal clarity, or waste another decade drifting. Your current reality, the life you inhabit right this second, is nothing more and nothing less than the physical manifestation of your habits, the sum total of your repeated behaviors, automated over time, etched into the very fabric of your neurology. You are, quite literally, what you repeatedly do. This is not philosophy. This is neuroscience. This is cold, hard, undeniable fact. Look at your bank account. It reflects your spending and earning habits. Look at your body. It reflects your eating and movement habits. Look at your skills, or lack thereof. They reflect your learning and practice habits. Look at your relationships. They reflect your communication and attention habits. Look at your mind. Its clarity or its chaos reflects your focus and thought habits. Mediocrity is not an accident. It is not bad luck. It is the inevitable, predictable, mathematically certain outcome of mediocre habits practiced consistently over time. Excellence, true excellence, the kind that defines the greatest version of yourself, is equally predictable. It is the compound interest earned on your good habits, relentlessly executed, day after grinding day, when you invest a small, consistent action, no matter how insignificant it seems in the moment. You are depositing into the bank of your future self. And just like compound interest, the returns are not linear. They are exponential. They build slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. Then, suddenly, decisively, they explode, transforming your landscape. A single push-up today means nothing. Absolutely nothing. But one push-up every single day, without fail, for a year, forges a different body. A different level of discipline, a different belief in your own capability. Reading 10 pages of a profound book today is a drop in the ocean, but 10 pages every night, consistently, for a year, floods your mind with knowledge, perspective, and wisdom, shifting your entire worldview. Writing 200 words on your project today feels trivial, pointless even, but 200 words every morning, before the world intrudes, for a year, completes a manuscript, builds a body of work, establishes your voice. This is the alchemy of the atomic habit, the microscopic unit of behavior that is easy, almost effortless to perform, yet holds within it the seed of monumental transformation. The power lies not in the scale of the single action, but in the ironclad consistency of its repetition. This chapter, right here, right now, is your blueprint, your battle plan. your blacksmith's hammer and anvil for building victory, one atomic habit at a time. Forget motivation. It is a fickle, unreliable traitor. It abandons you when you need it most, when the rain is cold, the bed is warm, and the effort feels Herculean. Discipline is your true weapon. Discipline is the unwavering decision to do what you committed to doing. Regardless of how you feel in the moment, it is showing up to the forge when every cell in your body screams to stay down. It is the muscle you build through relentless use, and like any muscle, it starts weak, it trembles, it fails, but with consistent training, it becomes unbreakable steel. Forging victory means designing ruthless routines, not fluffy schedules you admire on paper, but iron laws you obey without question. These routines are the architecture of your day, the scaffolding that supports your greatest self. They eliminate the draining, energy-sapping tyranny of constant decision-making. What to eat for breakfast, when to work out, what to work on first. These decisions, made repeatedly, deplete your finite willpower reserves before the real battle even begins. A ruthless routine automates the fundamentals, conserving your precious cognitive resources for the high-leverage thinking and creation that defines your greatness. You rise at the same time. You fuel your body with the same high-octane nutrition. You move your body with the same focused intensity. You attack your most important task in the same deep work block, day in, day out, until it requires no thought, only execution. It becomes as automatic as breathing. Eliminating energy drains is non-negotiable. Identify the habits that suck your life force, the mindless scrolling that steals hours, the toxic news consumption that poisons your mindset, the sugar crashes that sabotage your focus, the draining interactions that leave you depleted. You must surgically remove these cancers. These habits are not harmless indulgences. They are assassins of your potential, draining the energy you need to build the habits that elevate you. This requires brutal honesty and even more brutal action. Install systems that automate your success. Goals are good for setting direction, but systems are the engines that drive you there, relentlessly, predictably. A goal is to write a book. The system is writing 500 words every morning before checking email. A goal is to get fit. The system is completing 3 specific strength workouts per week, no matter what. A goal is financial freedom. The system is automatically investing 20% of every dollar earned before it hits your spending account. Focus obsessively on building and maintaining the system. The results become inevitable, a natural byproduct of the machine you have constructed. Mastering the discipline of showing up is the core skill. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Motivation evaporates, inspiration is fleeting. But showing up is a decision, a choice you make again and again. It means placing your body in the designated space at the designated time and beginning the designated task. That is all. Just start. Action, even imperfect, hesitant action, generates its own momentum. It creates friction against inertia. It builds the neurological pathways that make the next repetition slightly easier. The greatest version of yourself is not waiting for perfect conditions. It is forged in the imperfect showing up, day after relentless day. Understand with bone-deep certainty your daily choices. Those seemingly insignificant moments of decision are the chisel striking the stone. They are not random. They are deliberate acts of creation or destruction, carving away at the raw block of your potential, revealing, millimeter by painstaking millimeter, the masterpiece within or leaving behind only rubble. Each time you choose the salad over the fries, you are carving discipline into your future self. Each time you choose the focused work block over the social media rabbit hole, you are carving focus into your future self. Each time you choose the difficult conversation over avoidance, you are carving courage into your future self. Each time you choose the early morning over the snooze button, you are carving resilience into your future self. Conversely, each surrender, each compromise, each indulgence in the easy, comfortable path chips away at that potential, dulling the chisel, weakening your resolve, blurring the lines of the masterpiece you were meant to become. This is not hyperbole. It is the physics of human potential. Your habits are the sculptor, and your future self is the marble. Choose your chisel blows with ruthless intention. The atomic habit methodology provides the precision tools. Start impossibly small. Make the habit so easy you cannot say no. Want to run? Start by putting on your running shoes. That is the entire habit for the first week. Just put them on. Want to meditate? Start by sitting quietly for 60 seconds. Just 60 seconds. Want to read more? Start with one paragraph. The barrier to entry must be laughably low, eliminating the friction, the resistance that your primitive brain throws up against change. Once the habit is established, the ritual of putting on the shoes, sitting down, opening the book, then, and only then, do you gradually increase the challenge, the 2-minute run, the 5-minute meditation, the 2 pages. Anchor the new habit to an existing one. Leverage the power of your current routines. After I pour my morning coffee habit, I will write for 10 minutes new habit. After I brush my teeth habit, I will do 5 push-ups new habit. After I sit down at my desk habit, I will open my priority project file, new habit. This piggybacking creates a strong neural link, making the new behavior automatic. Track your progress obsessively. Measurement creates awareness, and awareness is the first step to mastery. Do not trust your faulty memory. Use a calendar, a journal, an app. Mark an X for every day you perform the atomic habit. The visual chain of X's becomes a powerful motivator, a testament to your consistency. Breaking the chain feels like a violation of your commitment to yourself. Design your environment for success. Make the cues for your desired habits obvious and unavoidable. Make the cues for your bad habits invisible or inaccessible. Want to read more? Leave books open on your coffee table, your nightstand, your desk. Want to eat healthier? Place fruits and vegetables washed and ready at eye level in the fridge. Hide the junk food or do not buy it. Want to work distraction-free? Uninstall social media apps from your phone. Use website blockers. Create a dedicated, clutter-free workspace. Your environment is the invisible hand shaping your behavior. Wield it deliberately. Anticipate obstacles and plan your response. You will face resistance, fatigue, temptation, social pressure. Have a pre-planned strategy. If I feel too tired to work out, I will just put on my workout clothes and do 1 set. If I crave sugar, I will drink a large glass of water and wait 10 minutes. If someone interrupts my deep work block, I will politely say I am in focused mode and will get back to them later. This pre-commitment removes the decision in the moment of weakness. Focus on identity change, the deepest level of habit formation. Ask yourself, what would the greatest version of me do? Not what do I want to achieve, but who do I wish to become? The person who is disciplined does not debate whether to work out. They simply are someone who works out. The person who is a writer writes consistently. The person who is financially free saves and invests automatically. Every time you perform your atomic habit, you are casting a vote for that new identity. You are proving to yourself, through action, that you are becoming that person. Celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the effort, the consistency, the discipline shown in performing the atomic habit. This positive reinforcement strengthens the neural pathway, making the habit more automatic. It is not about rewarding the outcome yet. It is about reinforcing the process, the showing up. This is the forge, this relentless, daily hammering of atomic habits upon the anvil of your will. It is hot. It is hard. It demands everything you have. There will be sparks. There will be resistance. There will be moments when the metal seems too hard, the fire too intense. But this is where victory is truly forged, not in the grand, sweeping declarations, but in the quiet, consistent, unwavering commitment to the tiny actions that compound into monumental transformation. You choose right now, moment by moment, habit by atomic habit, to forge the greatest version of yourself, or you choose to remain unmade. The chisel is in your hand. The stone is your potential. Strike true, strike consistently, and sculpt your masterpiece, one atomic habit at a time. Remember the promise, the exclusive insight, the final key that locks in this transformation, awaits only those who demonstrate the ultimate discipline, the unwavering commitment to see this journey through to its profound conclusion. Persist, forge onward, claim your reward. Your victory is forged here. Chapter 3. How to be the greatest version of yourself by mastering the discipline of execution. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Let's cut through the delusion right here, right now. You dream of that greatest version of yourself, that towering figure of capability, achievement, and unshakable presence. You visualize it. You crave it. You know it's possible. But what stands between the fragile vessel you are today and that titan of your potential is not some mystical secret, not a hidden gene, not even primarily intelligence or talent. It is a vast, arid desert called the gap between intention and action, the gap between knowing and doing, the gap between the fleeting spark of desire and the sustained, roaring inferno of achievement. And the only bridge strong enough, resilient enough, brutal enough to carry you across that treacherous expanse is forged from a single, uncompromising material. Discipline. Not the vague, wishful thinking kind, not the temporary surge of enthusiasm. We are talking about discipline with a capital D. Discipline as your bedrock, your legion, your relentless engine. Discipline is the non-negotiable currency of transformation, the iron law governing the ascent to your greatest self. Forget the siren's song of quick fixes and effortless change. That path leads only to the shoals of disappointment. Your greatest self is not summoned. It is built, brick by agonizing brick, day by relentless day, in the foundry of consistent, disciplined execution. Motivation, that fickle, fair-weather friend. It is a gust of wind, pleasant when it blows your way, utterly useless when the storm hits or the doldrums set in. It abandons you when you need it most. When the bed is warm, the task is hard, the resistance is fierce, the world seems indifferent. Relying on motivation is like trying to sail an ocean with a sail made of tissue paper. It tears at the first sign of real weather. Discipline, however, is your ironclad battleship. It is your nuclear reactor. It powers through apathy, indifference, fatigue, boredom, and the seductive whispers of distraction. It is the unwavering commitment to show up, to do the work, especially when every fiber of your being screams to quit, to delay, to indulge in the easier, softer thing right in front of you. This chapter, right here, is your boot camp for the soul. We are drilling down into the relentless, unglamorous, utterly essential mechanics of execution. We are tearing apart the myths that hold you back and arming you with the ruthless pragmatism of the doer. This is where potential stops being a pretty picture in your mind and starts becoming the tangible reality of your life. This is where you learn to build not just habits, but atomic habits, tiny, almost insignificant actions that compound with terrifying force over time, creating seismic shifts in your capabilities and your identity. We are talking about designing systems, robust, automated architectures of action that function independently of your fluctuating willpower, your mercurial moods, your inevitable moments of weakness. Systems are the tracks the train of your progress runs on, ensuring you stay the course, even when the engineer feels like jumping off. This is about executing with military precision, understanding that strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory, and that victory itself is the sum total of countless small actions performed correctly, consistently, relentlessly. How to be the greatest version of yourself is not a question answered in grand declarations or visionary plans sketched on napkins. It is answered in the silent, solitary hours before dawn, in the focused intensity when distraction knocks, in the unwavering commitment to push through the final rep, write the final paragraph, make the final call, long after the initial excitement has faded. It is forged exclusively in the daily grind, the crucible where character is tempered. It is sculpted in the unglamorous, unseen work done when absolutely no one is watching, when the only witness is your own conscience, your own commitment to the highest standard. This is the arena where excuses die, where procrastination is executed on sight, where wishful thinking is exposed as the coward it is. Stop wishing. Stop planning endlessly. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect feeling. The perfect moment is a myth sold to the timid. The perfect condition is the enemy of progress. The perfect feeling rarely arrives for the work that truly matters. Start doing. Not tomorrow. Not later. Not when you feel ready. Start now. Start where you are, with what you have. Start small, but start. And then, the absolute critical part. Do not stop. Do it again, and again, and again, with relentless, unyielding consistency. This is the core truth they rarely scream loud enough. Execution is not an event. It is a lifestyle. It is the daily choice, repeated infinitely, to align your actions with your aspirations, regardless of the internal weather system. It means choosing the salad when the pizza beckons, not because you hate pizza, but because you love the version of yourself that honors their commitment more. It means dragging your weary body out of bed for that run in the biting cold, not because it's pleasant, but because you despise the weakness that would let you stay under the covers more. It means opening the laptop and writing when the blank page mocks you and Netflix seduces you, not because inspiration struck, but because you made a pact with your future self to produce, to create, to build something of substance. It means making the difficult call, having the uncomfortable conversation, tackling the complex problem now, not deferring it into the nebulous future, where it only grows larger and more intimidating. Discipline is the ultimate expression of self-respect. It is the profound understanding that your future self is not some stranger. It is you, shaped irrevocably by the choices you make today. Every time you choose the fleeting comfort, the momentary pleasure, the easy escape over the disciplined action, you are not just skipping a task, you are actively betraying your future self. You are stealing from their potential, mortgaging their happiness, weakening their foundation. Conversely, every single time you choose discipline, you are making a direct deposit into the bank account of your future greatness. You are strengthening the muscle of your will, reinforcing the identity of the person who does what they say they will do, building tangible evidence of your own capability. This is how trust in yourself is built, not through grand promises, but through 1,000 small acts of integrity, where your actions match your intentions. The battlefield for your greatest self is littered with the corpses of good intentions and half-finished projects. What separates the victors from the fallen is rarely superior intellect or dazzling talent. It is almost always superior discipline, superior consistency, superior ability to execute the plan, day after grueling day, long after the initial fanfare has faded into silence. Willpower? Yes, it has its place. It is the initial spark, the emergency fuel. But willpower is a finite resource, easily depleted by stress, fatigue, decision fatigue, and the endless assaults of modern life. Relying solely on willpower is like trying to drive across a continent on a single tank of gas. You will sputter to a halt far short of your destination. The master key is not to constantly refill the willpower tank through sheer grit alone, though grit is vital. It is to design your environment and your life to conserve willpower and make disciplined action the default, the path of least resistance. This is the power of systems and routines. Systems are your automated pilots. They remove the need for constant decision-making. Think of your morning routine. If you have to decide every morning whether to exercise, what to eat, when to start work, you drain precious willpower before the day's real battles even begin. But if you have a system, alarm goes off, feet hit the floor, workout clothes are already laid out, you go straight to the gym or the mat, then shower, then eat the pre-planned breakfast, then sit at your dedicated workspace at a set time. The decisions are minimized. The action flows. The system executes. You conserve your willpower for the complex, unpredictable challenges that inevitably arise later. Building effective systems requires brutal honesty about your weaknesses and strategic planning. Where do you consistently fail? Is it starting work? Design a system that eliminates distractions at the start time. Website blockers, phone in another room. A clear start ritual, like brewing tea and reviewing the day's top 3 tasks. Is it healthy eating? Systematize meal prep on Sundays. Stock only healthy options. Remove temptations from your immediate environment. Make the disciplined choice, the easy choice, the automatic choice. Routines are the rhythmic expression of your systems. They provide structure, predictability, and reduce cognitive load. Your morning routine sets the tone for the day. Your evening routine prepares you for restful sleep and a productive tomorrow. Your work routine ensures deep focus and progress. Routines anchor you in chaos. They are the drumbeat your disciplined march follows. Consistency is the relentless application of your systems and routines. It is showing up every single day, not just when you feel like it. It is the compound interest of self-improvement. One workout means nothing. One healthy meal means nothing. 1 hour of focused work means little, but 100 workouts, 1,000 healthy meals, 500 hours of deep work, that is transformative. That reshapes your body, your mind, your skills, your results, your very identity. Consistency is where the magic happens, where the seemingly impossible becomes inevitable. It is the water wearing away the stone, not through force, but through persistent, unrelenting presence. This relentless consistency inevitably builds momentum. The first steps are the hardest, requiring immense force to overcome inertia. But as you persist, as you execute day after day, momentum builds. Action begets more action. Success, even small success, fuels confidence and makes the next step slightly easier. The flywheel begins to spin, and soon, maintaining progress requires less raw force than starting ever did. This is the power of discipline in motion. It creates its own energy. However, the path is never smooth. Resistance, that ancient enemy of growth and creativity, will rear its head constantly. It manifests as procrastination, distraction, self-doubt, fear, the sudden overwhelming urge to clean your baseboards instead of doing the important work. Discipline is the sword you wield against resistance. It is recognizing resistance for what it is. Not a signal to stop, but a signpost that you are on the right track, approaching territory that matters. Discipline means acknowledging the urge to flee and choosing to stand firm anyway. It means setting a timer and committing to work for just 5 minutes, knowing that often starting is the hardest part and momentum will carry you forward. It means having pre-planned strategies for when resistance strikes, a list of your whys to review, a quick burst of exercise to shift state, moving to a different environment, breaking the task down into microscopic, unthreatening steps. Accountability is the external reinforcement of your internal discipline. It is the guardrail that keeps you on the road when your internal steering falters. We are social creatures, and the knowledge that someone else is watching, expecting, invested in our progress can be a powerful motivator. This isn't about seeking approval. It's about leveraging human nature to bolster your commitment. Find an accountability partner who is equally serious about their growth. Set specific, measurable commitments to report to each other regularly. Hire a coach whose job is to hold your feet to the fire. Publicly declare your goals. The potential for public failure can be a potent catalyst for action. Track your progress meticulously. Use journals, apps, spreadsheets. Make your discipline visible and measurable. Seeing the chain of consistent days builds its own motivation to not break the chain. The ultimate goal is to shift from discipline imposed from the outside or even from your own conscious will, to discipline as an ingrained part of your identity. You are not trying to be disciplined. You are a disciplined person. This is where the true power lies. When discipline becomes woven into the fabric of who you are, execution ceases to be a struggle and becomes simply how you operate. You don't debate whether to work out. You are a person who works out, so you do it. You don't negotiate with yourself about starting the important task. You are a person who executes, so you begin. This identity shift is the pinnacle. It is achieved through relentless repetition, through consistently choosing the action that aligns with the identity of the person you are committed to becoming. Every time you execute, especially when it's hard, you cast a vote for that identity. Every time you succumb, you cast a vote against it. Over time, the evidence accumulates and the identity solidifies. And what is the fruit of all this relentless, disciplined execution? Results. Tangible, undeniable, transformative results, not vague hopes, but concrete evidence of your evolution. The body reshaped by consistent training and nutrition. The bank account growing through disciplined saving and investing. The skills honed to mastery through deliberate, consistent practice. The project completed, the book written, the business launched, the degree earned. All monuments built by the daily application of disciplined action. Results are the only true validation of your discipline. They are the proof that the bridge held, that the legion marched, that the engine powered through. They silence the inner critic and the external doubters. They build unshakable confidence, born not of empty affirmations, but of proven capability. They fuel the fire for the next challenge. Chapter 4. How to be the greatest version of yourself, by defining your non-negotiable purpose. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Listen closely, because this isn't just another chapter. This is the bedrock, the fucking cornerstone, upon which your entire ascent to becoming the greatest version of yourself either stands unshakable or crumbles into dust. Drifting. Let's start with that ugly, insidious word. Drifting is not living. Drifting is what corpses do, carried mindlessly by currents they cannot feel and do not resist. It's the slow, quiet suffocation of potential, the erosion of your spirit day by meaningless day. Are you drifting right now? Are you merely reacting to the world's demands, bouncing from one obligation to the next, one distraction to another, feeling a hollow ache you can't quite name, but know deep in your bones is the absence of something vital? That ache, that gnawing emptiness, is the scream of your soul dying of thirst in a desert of pointlessness. It's the undeniable signal that you are operating without your core directive, your essential fuel, your non-negotiable purpose. This isn't optional decoration for a pleasant life. This is the oxygen for your existence as a conscious, powerful being. Without it, you are a ship adrift in a stormy sea, battered by waves of circumstance, destined for the rocks or a slow sinking into oblivion. With it, you become an unstoppable force, a guided missile cutting through the noise and chaos with unwavering intent. The storms may rage, the waves may crash, but your course remains true, because you know, with every fiber of your being, why you are sailing and where you are headed. That is the power we harness here. That is the fire we ignite. Forget the fluffy, feel-good platitudes about finding your passion, as if it's a lost set of keys. This is deeper, harder, more profound. This is about unearthing the bedrock of your being, the immutable core that defines what you stand for, what you would fight for, what you would bleed for, what makes every single sacrifice, every ounce of sweat, every moment of doubt endured, not just bearable, but meaningful. This is about discovering your essential why, the immovable, unshakable reason that gets you out of bed on the darkest, coldest mornings when motivation has fled and comfort screams its seductive lies. Your why is the engine. Everything else, the goals, the habits, the discipline, is merely the machinery it drives. Without that engine firing on all cylinders, the finest machinery is useless scrap metal. So, we begin with brutal honesty. Look at your life right now, this very moment. Examine the landscape of your days. Where does your time go? Where does your energy flow? Who do you give it to? What activities fill your hours? Be ruthless in your assessment. Is this landscape reflecting something deep and true within you, or is it a wasteland of shoulds, societal expectations, fear-based compromises, and the accumulated debris of other people's agendas? Are you building your monument, or are you hauling bricks for someone else's project, hoping for a scrap of recognition? The dissonance you feel, that low-grade anxiety or persistent dissatisfaction, is the alarm bell ringing. It's the gap between the life you are living and the life your soul demands you live. It's the distance between the ghost of your potential and the flesh and blood reality of your greatest self. Closing that gap starts here, starts now, starts with defining the non-negotiable purpose that will pull you relentlessly towards that reality. How do we cut through the noise, the conditioning, the layers of bullshit you've absorbed since childhood, telling you who you should be, what you should want? We start by excavating your core values. These are not preferences. These are your fundamental, non-debatable principles. They are the compass points of your moral and existential universe. They define what you consider truly important, what you will defend to your last breath, what you cannot betray without betraying your very self. Is it integrity, where truth is paramount even when it costs you? Is it courage, facing fear head-on because backing down is a death of spirit? Is it connection, the profound need for deep, authentic bonds? Is it growth, the relentless drive to evolve and expand? Is it contribution, the burning desire to leave things better than you found them, to make a dent in the universe? Is it freedom, the irreducible need for autonomy and self-determination? Is it excellence, the refusal to settle for mediocrity in any endeavor you deem worthy? Your values are your bedrock. They are not chosen lightly. They are recognized, unearthed from the depths of your experience, your pain, your triumphs, the moments that shaped you. Think back. When have you felt most alive, most authentically you? What were you doing? Who were you with? What values were being expressed and honored in those moments? Conversely, when have you felt the deepest shame, the most profound regret? What values were being trampled, either by you or upon you? That visceral reaction, the surge of aliveness or the sting of betrayal, is your inner compass speaking. Listen to it. Write it down. Force clarity. List every value that resonates. Then the hard part. Prioritize them. Ruthlessly. If you had to choose only 3 to live by for the rest of your life, which would they be? Force the hierarchy. This isn't about what sounds noble. It's about what is irreducibly true for you. Your top 3 core values are your sacred triad, the foundation upon which your purpose must be built. Any purpose that violates these is a lie you tell yourself, a path destined for misery and self-betrayal. It will crumble under pressure because it lacks the integrity of alignment. Now, armed with your core values, we forge the purpose statement. This is not a vague aspiration like be happy or be successful. That's meaningless drivel. Your purpose statement is a declarative, present-tense, action-oriented articulation of your unique contribution to the world, grounded firmly in your values. It answers the fundamental questions: who do I fundamentally serve, and what profound value do I deliver to them? It connects your deepest values to a tangible impact beyond yourself. It's not about a job title. It's about the essence of your action in the world. Think of it as your North Star, fixed, constant, providing direction regardless of the terrain. Crafting this demands deep introspection and courage. Ask yourself the hard questions, the ones that bypass the superficial ego and strike at the heart of your being. What injustice, what pain, what need in the world stirs a righteous fury or profound compassion within me? What unique gifts, talents, or perspectives do I possess that could uniquely address this? If I knew I could not fail, what bold, audacious thing would I dedicate my life to creating or changing? What legacy do I need to leave? What story do I demand my life tell? What cause ignites a fire in my belly, so intense that setbacks become mere friction, not stop signs? Who am I when I am operating at my absolute best, most powerful, most authentic self? What problem does that version of me solve? Your purpose is often found at the intersection of your deepest pain, what you want to alleviate in the world or in others, and your deepest joy, what you love doing, what energizes you. It's the alchemy of transforming your own struggles into strength for others. It's about finding the battlefield where your skills meet the world's need, and your soul feels utterly engaged. This isn't discovered in comfort, it's forged in the crucible of honest self-confrontation. Silence the external voices. Tune out the shoulds. This is between you and your soul. Draft it. Write it down. Does it make your heart pound? Does it scare you a little, or a lot, with its audacity? Does it feel deeply, irrevocably true? Does it align fiercely with your core values? Does it compel you to act, refine it, hone it until it's a laser beam of intent? It should be concise enough to remember, powerful enough to move mountains. Examples might be to empower individuals to break free from self-imposed limitations and claim their authentic power, grounded in values of freedom and empowerment. To ignite innovative solutions that heal our planet and foster sustainable connection, grounded in values of stewardship and innovation. To foster deep, healing connections that mend the wounds of isolation and build resilient communities grounded in values of connection and compassion. To relentlessly pursue and disseminate truth, equipping others to think critically and challenge deception, grounded in values of integrity and courage. Your purpose is unique. Own it. This statement becomes your sacred vow, your non-negotiable contract with yourself. This is why non-negotiable is critical. Your purpose is not a suggestion. It's a mandate. It's the line in the sand. It's the filter through which you run every significant decision, every opportunity, every relationship, every commitment. Does this align with my purpose? Does this move me closer to expressing it fully? Does this drain energy better spent on my core mission? If the answer is no, the answer is NO, period. No debate, no negotiation. This requires ruthless prioritization and the courage to say no to good things, even great things, that are not the thing. It means walking away from paths that promise comfort or security, but lead away from your North Star. It means enduring misunderstanding, criticism, and loneliness when you choose fidelity to your purpose over conformity or convenience. Chapter 5. How to be the best version of yourself by commanding your time. You will never find time for anything. If you want time, you must make it. Listen closely, because this is not a suggestion. It is a fundamental law of existence you must internalize right now. Time is your most precious, non-renewable asset. It flows in one direction only, relentlessly. You cannot bank it, you cannot borrow more of it, you cannot reclaim what has slipped through your fingers. Every single second that passes is gone forever, irretrievable. This is the brutal, beautiful truth. The great equalizer. The billionaire and the beggar both have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference, the chasm between the life you have and the life you demand, between mediocrity and mastery, hinges entirely on what you do with those hours, how you command them, how you invest them. Stop wasting it. Stop treating time like an infinite resource you can squander on trivialities. Stop pretending you have all the time in the world. You do not. The clock is always ticking, relentlessly counting down your dreams, your ambitions, your legacy. They are all suffocating under the weight of wasted minutes and hours. If you truly desire to be the best version of yourself, you must master ruthless time management. This is not about gentle scheduling. It is about taking absolute control. It is about becoming the supreme commander of your minutes and hours, dictating their purpose with iron will. Forget the illusion of finding time. Charles Buxton nailed it centuries ago. You will never stumble upon spare hours lying around. Time is not lost. It is deliberately stolen from you by distraction, by indecision, by your own lack of command. Or worse, it is willingly surrendered by you through inaction and poor choices. If you want time, you must seize it. You must carve it out of the chaos with ruthless intention. You must make it. This making requires brutal honesty about where your time currently goes. Track it, minute by minute, for a week. Face the horrifying reality of the leaks, the endless scrolling, the pointless meetings, the conversations that drain rather than build, the tasks that busy you but do not move you forward. See the hemorrhage of your most valuable asset. Only then can you begin the critical work of triage. Only then can you start commanding your time, instead of being commanded by it. This is the foundational act of taking responsibility for your life, hour by hour. Prioritize like your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. The quality of your life, the achievement of your deepest desires, hinges on your ability to discern the essential from the expendable. The urgent is rarely important, and the important is rarely urgent. Understand this distinction at your core. Urgent tasks scream for attention. They create a false sense of productivity. They are the ringing phones, the overflowing inboxes, the demands of others that feel immediate. Important tasks, however, are the ones that align with your core values, your long-term vision, your ultimate goals. They build your future. They forge your best self. They are the strategic planning, the deep learning, the skill development, the relationship nurturing, the health investments. The key is to ruthlessly prioritize the important, even when the urgent clamors loudly. This demands courage. It demands saying no, often firmly, sometimes uncomfortably, to anything that does not serve your highest priorities. Every yes to a trivial task is a resounding no to your potential. Prioritize based on impact, not ease, not familiarity, not the path of least resistance. Ask yourself relentlessly, does this task move me significantly closer to my most important goals? If the answer is not a definitive, resounding yes, it is a candidate for elimination or drastic delegation. This is prioritization as a life-or-death discipline. Reclaim your focus. It is the laser beam that cuts through the fog of distraction. The modern world is a weaponized distraction machine designed to fragment your attention, to keep you scattered, reactive, and ultimately ineffective. Social media notifications, email pings, the siren song of the internet, the open office chatter, the constant internal chatter of your own unfocused mind. These are the enemies of deep work, of profound productivity, of true command over your time. Eliminate distractions. This is non-negotiable. Turn off notifications. Carve out sacred spaces of uninterrupted time. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Put your phone in another room. Physically block out intrusions. Train your mind to resist the itch to multitask. Multitasking is a lie, a myth peddled to make you feel busy while destroying your actual output and cognitive capacity. It fragments your focus, increases errors, and drains your mental energy at an alarming rate. True productivity, true command, comes from sustained, mono-focused attention on the single most important task before you. This is where flow states occur, where genius emerges, where hours feel like minutes and output soars. Reclaim your focus by creating fortress periods of deep work. Guard these periods with your life. They are where your best self is forged. Procrastination is not a harmless quirk. It is not merely putting things off. It is the insidious thief of destiny, the silent assassin of dreams. It robs you of your future one delayed decision, one postponed action at a time. It steals your time, your potential, your self-respect. It whispers comfortable lies. You will do it later when you feel more inspired, when conditions are perfect, when you have more time. Know this, later rarely comes. Inspiration follows action. Conditions are never perfect, and you will never magically have more time. Procrastination is rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of discomfort, fear of the unknown. It is also rooted in a lack of clear priorities and a failure to understand the true value of the delayed task. Slay it daily, confront it head-on, identify your specific procrastination triggers and patterns. Break overwhelming tasks into absurdly small, manageable steps. The 5-minute rule is powerful. Commit to working on the dreaded task for just 5 minutes. Often, starting is the hardest part, and momentum builds. Remove the barriers to starting. Set up your environment the night before. Leverage deadlines, even artificial ones, to create necessary pressure. Understand the immense cost of delay, the compounding regret, the lost opportunities. Hold yourself ruthlessly accountable. Every time you defeat procrastination, you strengthen your will, you reclaim time, you move decisively towards your best self. Implement systems for efficiency. Command is not just about brute force, willpower. It is about intelligent design. Structure your days, your weeks, your tasks to minimize friction and maximize output. Batch similar tasks together to reduce the cognitive load of switching contexts. Group all your calls, all your email processing, all your administrative chores into specific blocks. Design routines that automate decision-making. A morning routine that primes you for focused work. An evening routine that prepares you for the next day. A weekly planning session that sets your priorities in stone. Leverage technology wisely. Use calendars religiously, not just for appointments, but for blocking deep work, for scheduling breaks, for protecting your priorities. Use task management apps to capture everything outside your head, freeing mental RAM for the work that matters. But beware of system overload. The quest for the perfect app can itself become procrastination. Choose simple, robust systems and stick to them. Constantly seek ways to streamline, to automate, to delegate. Ruthlessly eliminate redundant steps, unnecessary meetings, pointless reports. any activity that consumes time without adding proportional value. Efficiency is about doing things right, ensuring that the precious time you command is used with maximum impact and minimal waste.